Well, hello and welcome to Todd Miller TV. I'm joined again with Juana, and I wanted to talk about a new thing from Bank of America. It's a brand new policy. They just announced that any properties that an investor buys within 60 days of them closing on it, they will not be able to flip the property. So what they're going to do is put a deed restriction on the property. They're going to have the investor sign as part of the offer something stating that within the first 60 days, if the house is purchased cash, that they cannot transfer it, sell it, or anything like that. So obviously you're familiar with that from Fannie Mae.
Absolutely. Fannie Mae has been doing that for a long time. The idea is that they want the neighborhood stabilized. They don't want to see a lot of turnover in neighborhoods. By having houses turn over fast, that hurts neighborhoods. One of the nice things about that is that this will incentivize investors to hold on to the properties longer and perhaps make repairs and increase values, or at the very least not have values decline further.
Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit, because this is sort of one of the things I've seen investors do. They'll buy the house, they'll make repairs, and they'll put it right back on the market, even though it hasn't been whatever the time frame is. And then what they'll do is they'll get an offer from somebody, and then what they'll do is they'll wait like, a few weeks into escrow, and then they'll just either rewrite the agreement with a different date, or they'll just say, well, we can't close until after this date. Have you seen that?
Yes, and that's very typical, particularly with deed restrictions. You'll have that. This isn't the only case where that happens. There are other deed restrictions like that. So, for example, when you have when someone has a loan as the Teacher Next Door program or something like that, and they have a silent second, they'll do that as well, because they have to hold on to the property for a certain amount of time. They'll put it on the market and try to time the market. So if they get an offer earlier than expected, they'll have to have that close of escrow date past when that silent second expires.
So, there are a lot of investors in the market.
Yes.
And a lot of their frustrations are all the good houses we can't get because we're being told owner occs only for the first certain amount of time. So, moving forward, do you see this trend continuing? Do you see maybe it going back? How do you see, moving forward, what would you project?
Politically speaking, it makes sense to really do as much possible to get owner-occupieds in there first. Owner-occupieds stay in a property longer, which stabilizes neighborhoods. We already have sufficient inventory. We really don't want more inventory because obviously the more inventory we have, the lower the prices. So you're going to see a lot of efforts on the part of the banks to stabilize the market through deed restrictions and that sort of thing.
So banks have been beaten up in the press for how bad they are and all this crazy stuff, but this is sort of proof that they're not just trying to sell the property to anybody. They're trying to, just like you said, stabilize the neighborhood, create home ownership,
right,
put owner-occupants into neighborhood homes. So they're doing the things they should be doing.
Absolutely. Plus, remember, they're also doing this for a little bit of self-interest, too. An owner-occupant is more likely to get a loan. So that means that the bank is more likely to make money off a loan. Okay. And then the other reason is the banks have more inventory coming to market, so they don't want investors competing with them out there for selling homes. So the more, like I said before, the more inventory comes to market, the lower the prices, so they don't want investors flipping properties.
Okay, good. All right, well, that was the update for today. Hope to see you on another episode. If you want to follow me on Twitter, my handle is @LasVegasTodd, and I'll see you on the next show. Bye.